Welcome to Michiana Main Lines. Here we are continuing with our location videos, but we are going to have some trains on this one. We're in Wellsborro, Indiana now, where the CSX crossed the Grand Trunk Western. This is in the early 90s. I'll be talking about how things were then and how they've changed. We've got a westbound coming here. We are near the street, Hamilton Street, I believe it is called. And I think we're going to have a couple of Chessie engines, which Chessie paint was still pretty common around that time, but I think that's pretty hard to find nowadays. So we'll be watching this freight come through here. Again, the CSX line then primarily was single track across northern Indiana with occasional passing sidings. Now in 2019 it has been double tracked following the Conrail buyout. So let's watch this train come through here. Look around the track work here. Grand Trunk Western double track mains. The single track you see crossing both lines here was the C&O New Buffalo line, which came south through here and then went through North Judson and points southeast of there. At this time, CSX still operated it down into the North Judson Malden area, but north of here it was for the most part gone, except they still had the Diamond crossing both tracks, because you'll see later where it extended a little ways north of the track, and then there was a large loop, or I guess balloon track. That was the way that CSX got onto their main east-west line. Again, a look at the Grand Trunk. Here we have something coming again. I believe it's another eastbound or an eastbound CSX, so we will watch it as it rattles the diamonds. A lot of good sound quality when the trains crash through the diamonds here. Very active hotspot, fairly popular with rail fans in the early 90s. Not sure what conditions are like there now as far as rail fanning, given that security is more of a problem on all of the railroads. There we have a good look at the CSX line, both directions. Of course, east of here, the CSX line eventually passes through Bremen and Napanee. Grand Trunk comes out of South Bend, with the South Bend subdivision. It continues southwestward to Valparaiso. There's another look at that line up to New Buffalo, what still remained of it, just a stub. That switch you see there was the loop or balloon track that connected onto the main. That's how they got onto this line. Also, that balloon was actually put in order for Amtrak to get onto the CSX line, as I understand it. Now that diamond has been removed in 2019, and CSX reaches the south part of the line, which is operated now by the Chesapeake in Indiana, but it now connects with a switch just on the south track. So that single track diamond is gone, and as well as any remaining track north of the main CSX line. Another look at the diamonds there, and there's the line looking southward where it heads towards North Judson, and there is a branch that extends to Malden. Just south of here there is a large grain elevator, which we'll take a look at right now. There is the setup there. Always has been a lot of cars on the property whenever I was there, and I believe it is still the same now for Chesapeake in Indiana. Farm Bureau Co-op, just south of the Diamonds in Wellsborro. There is the main branch track that is looking north towards the CSX main. There is looking southward towards North Judson. The road crossing there, I believe there are gates up there now. Now we are in Walkerton, Indiana. That is also the CSX main line that we just looked at in Wellsborro. That is looking east. The line you see crossing through here was the Norfolk Southern line that came from Michigan City and went down to Argus, which we looked at in some earlier installments of this series. There we are looking northward. There is the old tower that stood in between the CSX and Norfolk Southern. Also to the left of this, the ex-New York Central line crossed through here, which was the old Kankakee or NIPSCO branch that came southwestward out of South Bend and went through North Liberty and through here and eventually down into Illinois and Kankakee. There's still what remained at that time of that track, and the signal as well. I believe that is all gone now according to the Google Maps, but that is the old NIPSCO Kankakee line, or what remained of it. Just a little tiny piece of track. Looking around the area there again, I believe that is Adams Street that we are on. There are now signals and gates over there as well, following a lot of incidents between cars and trains. I believe the street that had that little piece of the old NIPSCO branch on it was Tennessee Street. And looking at the Norfolk Southern line extending southward. This now in 2019 is operated by the Elkhart and Western out of Argus. There is still a business just north of here that is served. Then the line is out of service for several miles, and then up in the Michigan City area, the South Shore takes over operations. So Norfolk Southern does not operate this here. It looks like we have a westbound CSX, which looks kind of yellow. It might be another Chessie paint unit. Again, Chessie paint was still fairly common, intermixed with CSX at that time in the early 90s. Nowadays, I don't believe there are any left in that paint scheme, or very few. I have been told that that diamond there has now been replaced by one of the new owls, or one-way light diamonds, which is only a regular diamond for the main line, and the secondary line kind of does a climb over, where the flanges of the wheels actually climb over the main rail and actually leave a little indentation. It's slow speed and for seldom used trackage. Again, looking as that train fades out into the west. And again, that concludes another segment here. I hope you have enjoyed this. If you want to see more of this stuff, here's a little tickler of what's coming next. Some Norfolk Southern action, and we're going to have some Conrail hump action in Elkhart coming up here. That should be pretty interesting. So again, like, subscribe. I'll keep these things coming. People seem to be interested in it, so I'm going to keep putting up what I got. So until the next time, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Keep rail fanning.